Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Journey Across the Galaxy. Today's topic of discussion will be Starship Simulator, a new game coming out on Steam. A demo is available, but before we get into that discussion, I need to get through our intro for the new faces who are just joining us, because you guys have no idea what's going on in this series. We are currently making our way all the way out to Beagle Point, having started all the way from the bubble, which includes Earth and basically all of human civilization, way back over here. We traveled all the way through the center of the galaxy and visited Sagittarius A-star, the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy, so be sure to go back and check out that episode if you missed that. We're currently located right here in this sector of the galaxy, making our way off into this direction, trying to make our way to Beagle Point, which is one of the big exploration milestones that explorers in this game typically try to get to. We have spent the last couple of episodes on this planet trying to gather all of the bodies that are on this. All the bodies that are on here. All the bodies. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Trying to gather all the species that are on here because we're trying to get to. Let's see. All right, we're trying to get up into space because we're trying to. Our main goal is to increase our Exobiology rank to the elite status, as well as make enough money to hopefully buy a fleet carrier and eventually take up residence out in the black. Coming back to the bubble only when absolutely necessary. We have gotten, I think, 5 out of the 7 species that are on this planet. So we're going to hop back up since we're on the night side of the planet. Check out our heat map again, see what we have left. I know we didn't get the fungoida that was here, and I don't remember if there was one more. Maybe we got it already, but I don't recall. But we need to get back up here, check out our heat map, see if there are any that I don't remember grabbing, and then we'll go back down on the light side of the planet and hopefully find the last couple of little species that we need. I would normally go through a spiel about the kind of sequence of events that we do, but we're still going to be doing a lot of exploring in this episode as well, because there's 2 other planets that have high biodiversity on them, and we're going to go 2 other planets in the system that have high biodiversity in them, and we're going to go check those out as well. So we got the bacteria, we got the cactoida, we did not get the fungoida, we did get the osseous, I think we got the strata, and we got the frutexa, okay, so I think we just have the fungoida. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know that we're going to bother going to grab that. I think 6 out of 7 species is pretty good, and the fungoida tends to be relatively difficult to get to. So we're going to go ahead and call that planet good, so that way we can kind of move on. So let's see here. We did this guy here. How far away are these? Because that's around another star. Is it 7,000 light seconds away? That's not bad. Okay, well, let's check the planetary information. So there's biological 5 there, biological 4 there. So we need to go and check out these 2 planets. And so let's get turned off in that direction. And we're going to fly over to this one. So that's going to be this guy here. So while we're on the way, we'll go ahead and get into our topic of discussion for this video. One of my regular viewers and channel members was very kind and recommended a new game that's out on Steam, or it's at least a demo that's out on Steam, called Starship Simulator. It's clear that it is very heavily Star Trek inspired. The ship is very Star Trek-y looking. The organization is the United Nations Space something or other. I don't exactly remember all of the details, but I have to say, the game looks pretty interesting, looks pretty promising. It looks like it could be a very, it looks like it could be everything that we wish that this game could be when it comes to exploration. I've griped many times about the travel system in this game, especially when you're having to travel long distances. And that game appears to alleviate most of the concerns that I have about the way that works. I did make a first look demo video that should be out by the time this video goes public. Yeah, I'll have it. Yeah, that one's scheduled earlier in the day than this one will be. So yeah, you'll be able to go and check that out on my channel. I do the first training module, and I don't even know, maybe half of the next module, because the person who developed the game, I don't know if it's a person or if it's multiple people, but regardless, the developers of the game have gone to great lengths to make everything as detailed and working as possible. So what I mean by that, I know I didn't explain that very well. What I mean by that is every button has a purpose. there's a cold start procedure that you can go through where you're supposed to, start up the fusion reactions and connect all the electricity, and like a fan of engineering went through and designed all of this and tried to make it as realistic as they could. So the startup procedure was very long and involved, and I really didn't feel like finishing it because it was just it's a relatively boring process, but it's probably something I'm glad they included it for those people who really want to get into the weeds of running a starship, because more is always better, as long as you make it so that the people who don't want to participate in that part don't have to. And I'm glad that they provide a way where you can just start up, get started, get into the game, and get going. The travel method that they chose is a warp drive style of travel, so you're not going to be hopping from star to star. You can actually, they have a full physical representation of the entire galaxy. It is a one-to-one galactic representation, just like Elite Dangerous is, except instead of having to jump from star to star and then you load into a zone there's no loading of zones. Everything is where it is, and I believe everything's procedurally generated, but I don't know how the programming of it all works. All I know is that I went from Sol to Alpha Centauri, and as you approach Alpha Centauri, you can see the different bodies that are around Alpha Centauri appear on the screen, and then you fly past them. So you're not just hopping into a star like you do in this game, which I think is extremely cool. It's like this. It's exactly like this, what we're doing right now. We're approaching a body at faster than light speed, and the bodies are kind of flying past us as we get to the destination that we're heading towards. So I really, really like that style of travel, especially when it comes to long distance traveling, because now instead of having to sit here and manually jump and fuel scoop a star and do all this other stuff, you just set your destination. It has full autopilot, so you're able to scan nearby. You're able to scan nearby stars, and then if you scan that star, you can get a list of bodies that are around that star, and then you can select a specific destination in that star system, send that information to your helm, and then use the autopilot that's included to automatically point you at it, and then it automatically flies you to the destination. Now you can do it manually from what I was able to see, but it's great that they provided a fully automated flight system so that you don't have to do all of the manual stuff that we have to do in this particular game, which I've complained about more than enough. You can go back and watch those videos if you want to hear my thoughts on the way I wish travel worked in this game. But anyways, here we are. We're approaching the body here. This one has 5 biological signatures in it, and then I'm guessing that other body right there has the other 4 that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and get our surface scanner going. This one only needs 2 probes, so we'll do that. And then we'll wait and find out what's here. While we're waiting for that, I'll try to continue. I will continue going back and forth between talking about our topic of discussion and trying to narrate what we're doing in the game. Obviously, it's a very, very, very early access game, so it's not going to have too much to do. More tubus. Okay. So the tubus and the frutexa. I'm more interested in the tubus. And then the stratum and bacterium are pretty much everywhere, so let's leave it on there. And then I definitely want to make sure we're getting around to the light side of the planet, because I hate trying to find this stuff in the dark. It's a big pain in the rear. Oh, forgot to turn my orbiting thing off. Deactivate that Super Cruise Assist so I can manually bring us around this way. So we need to find a nice big patch of stuff to land over. I mean, I guess we're going to be doing this right here. Let's see. Doesn't look like there's going to be that great of a spot to land. Generally, the darker colors represent more... I don't know if it represents lower altitudes or just smoother ground, or I don't know. But we'll come down on this side of it, and hopefully we'll be able to find the tubus. There was bacterium, tubus, tussock, and I don't remember. Oh, frutexa. Just got to get down here. Cool. We got our night vision turned on because that can make it much easier to find things on the ground because the outlines will stand out to you. I try to make sure I mention that every episode because I have to remember that the majority of people who watch my videos are new and have no idea what's going on. So yeah, let's stop and we'll grab these guys. I believe that this is going to be our, I already forgot what's on here. Our tubus, sorry. The tubus is one of the big reasons why we came down here. I like finding these tubus because they look interesting. They look like birds of paradise to me. Just really weird looking birds of paradise. So we'll grab this guy, and we need to find 2 more before we can complete our sample. And they have to be far enough apart from each other for the quote-unquote genetic diversity. There's our stratum over there. So let's find 2 more of these tubus, and then we'll grab the stratum, and then we'll move on to hopefully find... Alright, I have a feeling that these over here are probably not far enough away, so we'll go a little further over, like this. Then we'll grab these guys here, and then we just need 1 more, and then we can grab a bunch of stratum. However you want to say it. I'm sure there's a proper way. Stratum is probably correct. But the older you get, the less you worry about pronunciation. Okay, off we go. 1 more set. Come on. Turn off to the left here, hoping that staying in the more rocky part over here is going to make it so we have more tubus available to us. There's a reason I have shields, and it's so I don't have to be super careful. Okay, so we'll grab this, and then I think we may be close enough to some stratum to be able to just run over there and grab it. The Starship Simulator game definitely has a long way to go, though. There's some quality... Well, let me put it this way. They have some really awesome quality of life things, like they have waypoints that tell you where to go when you're doing the tutorial, and the waypoints don't just show up as little dots. They actually point you in the direction of the next thing. So that little details like that really get me excited about, you know, a developer and the choices that they're making with their game, because it means that they're not going to skimp out and just take the quick and easy path to get things done. They're actually thinking about quality of life for the players and what that's going to be like, and we need a lot more of that in our developer community. A lot less of just hurry up and get it out the door, and more, let's make sure that this game is fun to play. Or the simulator, or whatever. You know, a simulator, you know, I understand a simulator is supposed to represent real life, but at the same time, very few people get into a simulator looking for hardcore realism. We're looking to just kind of experience something that we normally wouldn't be able to experience because we can't afford to do it for real. So flight simulators, we do that because flying is expensive, and it's much cheaper to, you know, buy a video game, and Stratum Tectonicus is another 90 million because we got first footfall on this planet. We're gonna have so much money once we finally sell all this stuff, I'm telling you. You know, we do flight simulator because we love the idea of flying, but flying is very expensive, and it's much cheaper to just buy a game or buy a set of software that allows us to, you know, sit at our desk with maybe some peripherals to increase our feeling of realism and enjoy the game that way. And especially now that we have VR, we can hop into a plane, do all kinds of unrealistic things, and, you know, we do it for a sense of enjoyment. And not everybody enjoys making sure that everything is 100% real at the expense of, is it fun, you know? So I like when developers go out of their way to make their games as approachable as possible. Makes their simulators, especially if it's a simulator. I like it when they go out of their way to make it as approachable as possible. Because approachable and, you know, not inanely boring and stupid and repetitive like a lot of the things that the developers of this game have decided to do. You know, there's a lot about this game that just, you know, is awesome and amazing, and I have very few complaints about. But the general gripe about this game is just the grindiness of it, and not just the fact that you have to spend a lot of time getting things done. Just the insane amount of repetitive manual actions that you have to take, because they want you. It's not enough for you to be logged into the game and, you know, be trying to accomplish something, and preferably have your ship be doing it for you, or your SRV be doing it for you, or whatever it is doing it for you. You have to be, you know, physically, manually involved in the process, and I don't understand that mentality. It's, you know, I'm one of the things that I liked about a game like EVE Online is that their skill progression system was simply based on time. You set a skill, and you set a skill that you wanted to get done, and it took an X number of hours or X number of days of having that skill be assigned to get it done, which means you didn't have to necessarily physically be at the controls of your ship, you know, to have your skill increase. You just had to set, you know, it took a certain amount of time to get it done. Now, I don't know that I necessarily want to have that kind of a system in a game like this. Because the problem with that, is this the same? I think this is different. I think this might be different stuff. I was only halfway paying attention to what it was that we were looking at. So before I click it, let's just make sure. So I don't remember there being flowers on what we were just looking at. Oh, I guess it was. I don't know that, you know, a strictly time-based thing is really the way to go in any video game, because, you know, I'd like my progress to be based on my investment into the game, and if I'm logged off and not doing anything, I don't know that that is necessarily the right way to go as far as, you know, in advancement of a character, or, you know, increasing your skill set or anything like that. But at the same time, it shouldn't require ridiculous amounts of manual activity as well, especially with the travel system. The fact that they have, you know, they have these taxi systems that allow you to automatically fly from one place to another, but they don't offer a way for you to equip your ship with a way of doing that. Is just, it's some kind of attitude from the developers and the community. You know, the community in general. There's a lot of people who disagree with the idea of autopilot, and I don't understand that. Like, I get you want to fly manually, that's fine, but not everybody does. Why aren't we providing? They have the functionality there to do autopilot for this. They just won't. And I don't understand that mentality. It makes no sense to me. All right, so we need to find some bacteria, because we got our stratum, we got our tubus, and now we need to grab the bacteria. I don't remember what the 5th species was. Okay, here's our bacteria. I'm trying to focus on landing here. Come on. Come on. Where's my landing spot? There we go. So we'll grab the bacteria here, get 2 more of those. We had the tubus, we had the tussock, we had the stratum, and I don't remember what the other... Ugh, I hate it when it does this. Can I get it? There we go. I don't remember what the 5th one was. Bacterium arasus. Teal. We need 2 more of those. Then we can move on to the next planet. So I don't think that's far enough away, so let's head over to this little patch of dirt over here. There we go, right there. Okay, we'll grab this guy here. So anyways, you know, I'm not sure what the combat system might end up looking like. There's a lot of panels, especially on the bridge, that have a little sticky note, literally a sticky note, a digital sticky note on it that says WIP, work in progress. So, you know, there's a lot of things about the Starship Simulator that, you know, who knows what the future is going to hold for it. But this initial this initial highly detailed, very well thought out system that they have so far leads me to believe that at some point, you know, they're going to invest the time and effort and money into making it into something that can be the space exploration game that we've all been waiting for. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Especially in this day and age, I reserve judgment on pretty much everything at this point, because everybody promises amazing things, and then, you know, money starts getting into the mix of everything, and the promises all go out the window because now, you know, money's the thing and not the creative vision anymore. So I'm not going to get my hopes up over a game like this, but you know, if the direction that it's on if the direction that it's on continues, then it's definitely something that we want to keep an eye on. So let's see, we got Bacterium, we got Tubus, we got Stratum, we got Tussock. I don't remember what the last one was. I don't remember it saying Frutexa. We don't really have enough time to head over to the other planet right now because... yeah, I really need to figure out the dimensions of my ship because I'm having a hard... I want to do a little spin around maneuver there when I find something. But every time I do it, I'm too close to the ground and I end up slamming my wing into the ground. I saw a patch of grass over here and I just wanted to check and see if it was different from the grass that we were looking at before. Okay, there it is. I really wish that the render distance on this was better. No, that's the same stuff. Yeah, I don't remember what the other... oops. I don't remember what the other species was. And I don't believe that it tells me... I don't believe there's a way for me to get a list of what's available here. Obviously, you guys keep mentioning third-party software. I've tried the third-party software, and it is, you know, marginally helpful. I forget what it was called, but I did have it, and, you know, you mentioned it, and I had already downloaded it, and I had already tried it. I didn't find that it made much of a difference in my exploration, but, you know, it's definitely something that's available. And in this one specific situation where I can't remember what the other species were, it definitely would be helpful. But for the most part, it was just an extra step I had to remember to do, and I didn't feel like messing with it. So I think we're going to go ahead and call this an episode, because I don't remember what it is, and it's going to take too much time to get off this planet and head over to the one that has 4. We'll do that one in the next episode. So hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my topic of discussion talking about the thing. Be sure to go check out the demo over on Steam. It is a free demo that will allow you to check the game out, and I think it's definitely worth your time. Be sure to click that like button if you had fun so that the YouTube algorithm will know, and send the video out to as many people as possible. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so now, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed, and you will be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button, check out the list of options available there, and decide if any of those are right for you. If you're not interested in a continuing commitment, but would still like to support the channel, you can do the YouTube version of a tip by clicking that thanks button and doing a one-time payment. Direct contributions are greatly appreciated and a critical component to helping to turn this into a full-time gig, which is the dream. So, as we say, or as we gaze out upon the Milky Way from the opposite side of Earth, I would like to say thank you very much for joining me on this adventure. Be sure to come back for the next one, and I'll see you then.